Hi students, coming to the next topic, that is the virtual machine migration. In the previous video I explained about the virtual machine provisioning. So the provisioning is completely based on the user's requirement. So the complete virtual machine server is configured based on the user's requirement. Now let's talk about the virtual machine migration. We already know that migration is nothing but moving from one to another. Okay, it's just going to be, that movement will be any type of movement, whether it is upgrading or something, failures or whatever it may be. Okay, so the migration is any type of migration, whether it is a bad or a good, whatever it may be. Now let's see what about this virtual machine migration. Let me first explain the needs for virtual machine migration. Needs for virtual machine migration. What is the need for virtual machine migration? The different needs for using virtual machine migration is upgrading, next balancing resource usage, balancing resource usage, next virtual machine failures, meet SLA. So these are the different reasons for virtual machine migration. Why the virtual machine is migrated from one system to another system, and how the concept is changing, moving to another, using the another resources, because of upgradations and because of rebalancing resource usages and because of virtual machine failures and meet of SLA. They are going to migrate from one system to another system. So these are the needs for virtual machine migration. Now let's talk about the virtual machine migration techniques. Virtual machine migration techniques. So there are different techniques will be there. One is the live or hot migration and another is a regular or cold migration. The different techniques are, one is live or hot migration and another is regular or cold migration. These are the two different migration, virtual machine migration techniques, regular or cold migration. Let's talk about each technique. Virtual machine, live or hot migration. So what is this live or hot migration? Let me write first. The movement of virtual machine from one physical host to another while being powered on. So when the migration will be done. So if you talk about the live or hot migration, the movement of a virtual machine, okay, just a movement of virtual machine from one physical host to another physical host. Okay, so moving from one physical host to another physical host, that too in power on. Means the movement, migration is nothing but a movement. So here in the live and hot migration, the movement of virtual machines from one physical host to another physical host will be done only on power on. The virtual machine state is copied to the target host. So here this state, this source host state is copied to target host. So from here this will be copied to here. The source virtual machine is suspended. After that this will be suspended. So whenever it reaches the target host, the complete state is moved to the target host. The source host will be suspended. The network routed into target virtual machine. Now the network is moved to the target virtual machine. So this is the target virtual machine. Finally, the target virtual machine starts. So this is a migration. So this means migration here is nothing but movement of one virtual machine to another virtual machine. Here I am talking about the live or hot migration. The live or hot migration is whenever it is in powered on. Whenever you are doing everything with the help of the power on, okay, with the help of the power, then only you call it as a live or hot. Okay, suppose if you are accessing your let's take your TV. Okay, so this is a TV and here is a mobile phone. You want to see everything, whatever the display that is in the TV, you are going to connect. Okay, you are broadcasting. Cast the screen, casting the screen. You're just casting the screen that is picked into your TV. So whenever you cast the screen, this mobile will be suspended, means this will becomes the hiding and everything will be shown on the TV. So this is a target host now. Okay, and here this will be suspended and everything you are seeing on the TV. So while doing this, this mobile phone becomes very hot. Why it is become very hot? Because it is transferring the data from, not transferring, its image is copied to the TV. Means this will be done at live. Okay, so that's, you call it as a live or hot migration. So that will be done at the power on. If you talk about the system, the movement of virtual machines from one physical host to another while being powered on, then you call it as a live or hot migration. So the thing here, you have to remember that the migration is nothing but a movement. Okay, so don't be confused. So this is the example I had tell. So whenever you are casting everything on the TV, so that becomes very hot. So that's why calling it as a live or hot migration. It's a simple example I am taking. The concept was the movement of a virtual machine from one physical host to another while being powered on. So whenever it is powered on means live or hot migration. So whenever the complete movement will be done to the target machine, just discard the source host. The source host state will be discarded, and finally the network is connected to the target host, that is another system, and the virtual machine starts in this target host. This is about the first technique in virtual machine migration. And the next technique was regular or cold migration. So what do you call by this regular or cold migration? So hot and live migration means whenever the movement of data from one host to the another host during power on is the live and hot. Now let's see about the cold and regular and cold. Migration will be done at the power off. So here the technique was the migration of a powered off virtual machine. So here it is a powered off. Whenever the power is off, there is no transferring of heat. So whenever there is no transferring of the heat means the system will become cold. That is a regular or cold migration is the movement of the virtual machine from one physical host to another physical host during power off. So during the power off, you can transfer or the configuration of files. The configuration of files, log files, and the disk of virtual machine or moved from source host to target host. So during power off, you can able to transfer the configuration files, log files, disk of virtual machines can move from source host to the target host. The virtual machine is registered with the new host and the old version of virtual machine is deleted from the source host. So just like a live or hot, whenever you are transferred from source to the destination target, the virtual machine is registered with the new host, that is a target host, and the old host, that is the source host of virtual machine, is deleted from the source host. The old version, I am talking about the old version. The old version of virtual machine is deleted from the source host. So this is the another technique of virtual machine migration, that is a regular or cold migration, live or hot migration, and regular or cold migration. The main difference between this, let me give an overview of these two: hot or live migration, regular or cold migration. So here this can be done, virtual machine is powered on here, powered on, and here the virtual machine is powered off. Okay, and here there is a needs a shared storage of virtual machine in service pools, and here virtual machines are not required to be shared storage, needs shared storage for virtual machines, and here virtual machines are not required to be on a shared storage, to be on shared storage. And here certain CPU compatibility checks to be applied between host, and no CPU checks. Here the CPU checks will be there. You have to check frequently the CPU status, and no CPU checks are applied. Shortage time is very small. This here shortage time is very small in hot or live, whereas in regular or cold, shortage time is large. So this is the difference between the hot or live migration and regular or cold migration. And here the less simple process, and this will be the simple process. Thank you.